Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the PayPod. Today, we're talking about Visa, and we're talking about. There's many things that we can talk about Visa, and it's obviously a huge company. Today, what we want to discover and discuss is why is actually Visa a huge company? Why does it make so much money that it does? And the big question that I want to ask you is, will our grandkids know what Visa is? This is the question. And so think about like 40 years from now, will visas be still around? This is the question that we're trying to answer. What's your first thought? Would you say that Visa is
Yes.
going to be around?
Yeah,
Why?
because they've been around for close to 70 years already,
Yeah.
60 to 70 years already. So
Yep.
they've built the brand, they've built the trust of the end user, of the consumers, of the merchants, of the banks. So the whole ecosystem knows who Visa is.
Yeah.
So I don't see that disappearing, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So before, maybe what I can do is like I'll tell you what I think, but I'll give a quick intro. Like let's try and make it more interesting, just to give a bit of a background to what Visa is at the moment and why it's valuable. So a bit of trivia. I did my digging here. So started in '59 as the product was called BankAmericard. It started in California. It almost went bankrupt. I don't know if you know this.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
It went bankrupt. What they did is they mailed 65,000 cards unsolicited with $300 limit on them. Credit cards. These are credit cards. And they expected that the delinquency rate on it was going to be 4%. It was actually 22%. So they almost went out of business. But they turned it around, obviously. Now it's a huge company. Last year they processed 13.6 trillion dollars.
How many zeros is that?
I don't know. Like it's back to basics. I don't know. Is that a nine?
I have
zeros?
no idea.
I think it's 9 zeros.
Insane amount.
Yeah. They started pretty shakily, and then what happened is this guy came about. His name is D Hawk, and he was like a manager in National Bank of Commerce in Washington. So he gets to work on this BankAmericard project, and he's to roll it out into the northwest of the states. He does that, but he spots a problem. Like as long as there is kind of a bottleneck of the company issuing the cards, then it's really difficult for this to scale. Because imagine that you're gonna have to create for 2 million users their cards. This is a huge manufacturing job. So what the guy figures out is like, okay, first of all, this is no longer gonna be actually a company that produces cards. No, we're going to give that to the banks. So this is kind of what Visa is actually, and this goes to what it is today. It's no longer about issuing cards. It's only about connecting banks. This is what Visa is. It's connecting thousands and thousands of banks across the world. This is it. And the banks on one side are able to issue cards, and on the other side, they can accept card payments. And the Visa sits in between and is just connecting these banks. It's a very simple model.
Now it is. Now, like when you explain it in that way, it sounds super simple. We all know it's not that simple these days.
At the end of the day, the guy was brilliant, because what he figured out is for this to scale globally, you have to concentrate on one major thing, and that's kind of keeping yourself in the middle. And this is what Visa does. So you have on one side. So maybe we can explain for the viewers who are not that familiar with how payments work. We can kind of explain a simple transaction. What happens? We have on one side, we have the client. Let's say I'm gonna be the client, and you're gonna be the seller. So you're selling. What are you selling?
And I'm selling, I don't know, chairs.
Okay, so you're selling chairs. I want to buy a chair. I have my card, which is issued. My bank is gonna be UniCredit, and your bank is gonna be HSBC. Right? So for this to work, we have two different types of accounts. My account is connected to a card that was issued to me, the card that was issued to me by UniCredit, and you have a different type of account. Your account is an acquiring account or an acceptance account. That is not your IBAN account. It's not where you make payments from, and to do anything from your online banking. It's another type of account. So what happens? I take my card, I go to your website or your terminal, doesn't matter, and I swipe the card or touch the card. And that message, that transaction message, it's like 100 euros for a chair, to Svilen's account, from Alex's card, and so on. All of this is packaged in one message. And then your bank, HSBC, is going to verify that you're actually a seller. So there's no fraud there. And then it's going to say, I have no idea who UniCredit is. How can I understand who UniCredit is? I have to send it to Visa. So then they send this to Visa and say, oh, I have the connectivity to UniCredit. So what Visa is going to do is they're going to send this message to Visa, to UniCredit Bulgaria or Italy or something else. And then they're going to do their checks and going to say, yes, this guy, Alex, definitely has the 100 euros. He's allowed to do that transaction. And they're going to send the message back in the same route. They're going to send it back to Visa, and Visa is going to send it to HSBC. And this is how it works. So you see in that thing is Visa is just in between layer. The only thing they have to do is pass messages back and forth.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with cards.
Which is insane when you think about it. And all of this is happening for what? A split second?
Yeah.
A split second while you have the loading window on the purchase page.
You know what is really crazy is the numbers. Let me just quote you a couple of numbers here. So they build this system that is able to sustain 65,000 messages per second. 65,000 messages per second.
Does that mean 65,000 purchases per second?
Per second.
Oh my God.
So they have 4 data centers that control this whole thing. And Virginia, Colorado, London, and Singapore. And they have never reached even 30% of that capacity. So I think the maximum was, I have it somewhere, I can't find it, but I think it was around 17,000 transactions per second. This is the maximum they've gotten to. So they have this insane capacity to process transactions and messages. And this is kind of the backbone. Going back to the start of the conversation, is like, why is Visa valuable? And will it be around in 30, 40 years?
Sounds like it will be.
It will be.
They've been preparing for that.
2 things they have. First of all, they have this insane capacity to process messages in between the banks. And then the second most important thing is they have positioned themselves as a network between a huge amount of banks across the world. And someone to be, so for them to be kicked out of this industry and someone to replace them, it means that someone with enough credibility has to step in and take their job. But they've been going at this for 70 years, right? So it's very unlikely this happens.
No, I don't think it will. And we all know that everything will be eventually, it won't be physical. It's already becoming non-physical. It's in the cloud.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter.
If you're gonna have crypto, if you're gonna have stable coins, if you're gonna have some other kind of banking
banking rails, instant.
It really doesn't matter because they're not in the business of cards. They're in the business of processing messages back and forth reliably in between a huge network of banks. And they have the trustworthiness, that the banks say, yeah, like if I participate in this model, I know I'm gonna get my money. Because now, yes, there's a lot of providers doing stable coins, doing this and that, but the banks are gonna say like, will I get my money?
Yeah, exactly.
There's the issue of credibility,
trust.
Trust, and Visa has that. So will they survive over 34 years? I think yes.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there is a world in the near future that Visa won't be around. Yes, stablecoin is now becoming more and more popular, and maybe it's chipping slowly away.
Yeah,
but that will take like.
It's funny because what I see, like when I was researching this, and I saw that they have so many satellite products and companies that they bought and so on, and they're not spending more than 5% of their resources in terms of people who are actually working on this. Not more than 5% of Visa people are working on the side projects, companies that acquire and so on. So the main business is clearly the main business. And, if any of these side businesses is going to have traction, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But the main business, I think they've really kind of nailed this thing, like connectivity is everything together with this trust thing. So it's kind of interesting that they are investing, they're buying companies, but still, if you look at it, it's just 5% of the employees are working on something different than what is the current kind of revenue generator of the business.
No, like I didn't even know that they're buying satellites and all those side businesses, which is, of course, all of the huge companies nowadays are testing all the time. They're trying with different lines of businesses, different income sources. So it makes a lot of sense that they're doing all of that. But then again, as you said, like they've been doing that for so long, and they're one of the best, if not the best, in the connectivity part, and with the globalization of just humans traveling, paying whatever, buying stuff from China to US to whatever. So it makes a lot of sense that they will not deviate that much from their trajectory of like becoming this behemoth of company. They're already a behemoth of company. Like, let's agree, it's insane amount of money. And I think they're on each transaction, they're getting like 50% or 60%.
What do you mean?
They're making out of every transaction pure profit is like 50 or 60% of each transaction.
No, I think
not. I mean, whenever they're doing the processing, because I was looking those interviews with the Congress in the US. So both Visa and MasterCard were being questioned about the pretty much duopoly that they have over merchants, over everything.
Oh yeah, you mean in between Visa and MasterCard, they're getting, it's actually more. It's like something like 52% of the world card payments
exactly
are happening through Visa. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's so much. But I think this is, about 10 years ago, everybody was saying like, oh, do you think that, cards are going to go away? Cards are going to go away. Like it's the online banking is going to replace them.
No.
And, it's, in the last couple of years, it has become very apparent to me that Visa is not in the card business. They will happily let it die. If this is the course that needs to be run, then Visa is going to say, okay, fine, we'll let it die, no problem. Because they have this capacity to process transactions and to send messages basically and to connect banks. This is what it really boils down to. So it's I think they're gonna be around.
Oh, definitely. Like as you said, like a couple of years ago, it was open banking and how open banking will become the next huge thing in Europe. It's getting traction for sure since 2017 or 16. So 8-9 years already, but it's nowhere near.
I think we're gonna explore this in one of the next episodes. So stay tuned. We're gonna talk about the Wero in Europe. This is something that's been rolling out in the last few months. So yeah, this is gonna be something as of a continuation of the current conversation.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time.